Hello, my name is Rhonda Calahan. I'm coming to tell you a little bit about my testimony, my story, something that I went through. And hopefully this will touch some lives of some ladies and so that they'll know what to look for, signs to look for, and just be careful. 2009, I met a guy and we began to date. And probably about a year and a half into the relationship, he moved in. And we decided to, we were going to get married. But the closer I got to God and the more I stayed in my word, and I realized that he was not the one for me, and I had been trying to break it off with him for the longest. So this particular day in February, I came home and he was already here in the driveway. He had was supposed to be at work, but he was already here in the driveway, and he followed me into the house. And that's when I came into the house. Normally I would go into my bedroom, but I sat in the chair. I sit in this chair, and he came over to me, and he began to rub the side of my face, and I asked him, "What are you doing? You know, don't touch my face like that." And after that, he slapped me, flipped this chair over upside down, and by that time I was sitting on this part of the chair, and that's when he bust my head through the wall in this hole right here. You can see the hole that's still there. After that, he began to drag me by my clothes and drag me into the kitchen. And that's where he began to get the knife out of the drawer and stab me all over my body. By that time, I was laying right here, and he was sitting on top of me. He got a long knife with a round edge, and that's when he began to cut my neck. And by me trying to put my hand under the knife so that he wouldn't cut my neck, he cut all the tendons in my fingers, cut this finger off. And that's when he threw that knife down, dragged me over to the dishwasher, and got a sharper knife out with a sharp edge. And that's when, by that time, I was laying here in this walkway right here. And that's where he began to stab me all over my body, front and back, head, everywhere he could stab me. And as he was stabbing me, I was pleading the blood of Jesus over my life, because I knew that was Jesus, the only one could save me. I figured that there was no one here in this house but me. But I did not know that day God had placed an angel here in my house. My son was dating a girl, and she was in the back bedroom with the door closed, and I did not know she was here. But as she heard all the glass breaking and me screaming and pleading for my life, begging him not to kill me that day, and she came out of the room, and we were right here on the floor, and she looked down and she had asked him, "Why are you doing that to her?" He looked up at her, and he still began to stab me even more. It wasn't until then that she opened up the front door and went out, and that's when he finally got up off of me, and I was able to go out the front door, and I collapsed in my neighbor's yard. And I had to be bay flighted to the trauma center in Bradenton. And on that hospital bed that day, I was able to tell everything that happened to me, word for word. I did not pass out. And I was just thanking God that he kept me, that he saved my life, and I did not die that day. As I was laying on the hospital bed, I heard the doctor say she has 30 stab wounds, but no main arteries or veins cut in her body. And I just began to give God praises, and I thank him. And now I try to go around and I speak to young women, because I want them to know the most important thing about this video is to get a message over to the young women. It's not so much of what I've been through, but it's where I'm going and the things that I'm trying to do to bring awareness about domestic violence and women. You know, God always speaks to us. We always used to hear say that still small voice. Well, I need to tell the women, listen to that still small voice. When you hear the Lord speaking to you, telling you, no, this is not the relationship for you, listen, take heed to what it's saying. because I also too got that message, but I did not listen. I was at a point in my life where I wanted to be married and just settle down with one person, and I just thought, oh, he'll change or he'll do this. However they start out, that's most of the time how they end up. So I try to talk to young women, raise up their self-esteem, just think more highly of yourself, and don't allow a man or anyone to disrespect you. And most of all, you don't disrespect yourself. So I went through all that. I didn't understand at the time, but I see now how God is, ordering my steps and what he wants me to do for him. And I said, by him saving my life, I said, Lord, whatever it is you want me to do, I'll do it. Whatever it is you want me to say, I'll say it. It's just so important to have high self-esteem about yourself, and just don't allow anybody to disrespect you. I can't, he used to always call me bees all the time, and I hate that word. I hate it with a passion. I don't think that it's right for anyone to be disrespected, called out their name. Throughout all the pain that I felt in my body at that time, I felt free. I just felt free of him. I didn't care about all the pain at that time. I just knew that I was free of that relationship that I got myself into. And I had to go through a lot of rehab with my hands, a lot of counseling at Spark, just trying to get through the pain and all the things that I had went through. I began to have nightmares and visions of the incident. So now I'm a certified victims advocate for women. So I try to be there for women for when they're going through things the same, as I went through. And it's very important to have somebody there for you. We have a group called the Queens. It's 5 of us ladies, and we get together, we go to the movies, we have dinner, and we just try to encourage one another and uplift one another, because it's so important to have someone there for you at this time. And I try to speak to women that's coming up behind me. When you get in relationships like that and you hear that still small voice saying, no, he's not the one to get out of that relationship, do it right then. Take heed. Take what I went through and use it for your benefit, so that you don't have to go through the same thing that I went through.